What is tool wear and tool life? We will discuss this topic in detail. As you know, while machining operation or removing material from your raw block, there will be a plastic deformation of a material will start when cutting edge will remove the material or there is a relative motion between your tool and the workpiece. So that means sharing of a material will take place in front of your cutting edge and the plastic deformation of a material will start. So due to this plastic deformation, temperature increases in three different regions. As we discussed in previous session, there are three different regions of a shear zone. In that three different shearing zone, temperature increase or a percentage of the temperature increase is different. In primary region, obviously, when it is a primary region, it is larger than in secondary region. Temperature percentage of a temperature increase it is less than your primary region, and in case of a tertiary region, there is a less temperature increases. So, due to this plastic deformation, you will observe that there will be some disadvantage. Oh, sorry. Due to this plastic deformation, as we discussed, temperature increase in this region is three different reasons. But we will observe the tool failure due to this plastic deformation of a material. But what are those factors affecting to tool failure due to plastic deformation? We will observe here. So first parameter is extremely poor surface finish on a workpiece. So we have to identify your tool is failed by using these five parameters. Means tool is not giving satisfactory performance is identified by using these five parameters. What are those five parameters? First one, extremely poor surface finish on your workpiece. Okay. Then second parameter, high consumption of a power. While machining, if you observe that we require larger amount of a power to remove the material or for the machining. So in that case, it will also represent your tool is failed to perform your satisfactory work. Okay. So third parameter is work dimensions. Work dimensions means after machining, you will get the desired size and shape of your workpiece. If we are not getting proper dimensions, so that case also represent tool failure. Means tool fail to perform their work. So work dimensions not being produced as specified. So this is one of the reasons to identify. And fourth reason is overheating of a cutting tool. As we discussed in previous slide, three different regions. When the temperature increased at the cutting edge and tip of the tool, it is higher, and due to overheating, your tool may get failed to perform the operation. This parameter, appearance of a burnishing band on a work surface. Okay, this is another reason to identify your tool is not giving satisfactory performance. So identify tool failure by using these different reasons. So we need to identify this reason by various ways. The cutting tool may fail due to one or more of the following reasons. Okay. So it is mainly classified by using these three parameters. First, thermal cracking and softening. Second, mechanical chipping. Third one, gradual wear. Gradual wear is again classified into two types, scatter wear and flank wear. So from these three classification, you can also identify which type of a failure, tool failure is this. Okay. So, but reason कौन से हो सकते हैं? First, second, third, fourth, five. These are the reasons. Okay. First classification, we will discuss this first classification, thermal cracking and softening. What is the thermal cracking and softening? Due to the lot of heat generated means increase in temperature in during the metal cutting, the tool tip and the area closer to the cutting edge becomes very hot. And due to increase in temperature during this region, what we will observe that every tool material has its certain limit. As you know, tool material which is having some melting point. So to which it can withstand to the elevated temperature without losing its hardness. If the temperature increases suddenly due to this various condition, then what will happen? Tool will not give you satisfactory performance. It loses its hardness. If that limit is crossed, then we will identify tool material starts deforming. That is called as a softening. Means your tool edge, cutting edge will blunt. So means plastic deformation of a tool starts. So at the tip and adjacent area of your tip or a cutting edge, will identify due to increasing temperature, deformation of your tool will start. That is called as a thermal softening of a tool. So your material of the tool, it should be harder than your workpiece and cutting parameter. We need to maintain the cutting parameters also, means cutting speed, feed, depth of cut, material remove rate. These parameters also play an important role while machining process to avoid the thermal softening of your single point cutting tool. So to perform the satisfactory performance, maintain these parameters. So understood what is thermal softening? When the temperature increases in three different shearing regions, then we will identify material will start losing its hardness and it will start deforming, plastic deformation of the tool in various regions, cutting edge and clamp face region. So that is called as your thermal softening. So next is thermal cracking. What is a thermal cracking? Main factors, as I told you, main factors affecting to your thermal softening is high cutting speed, high feed rate, and excessive depth of cut. If we are providing these three parameters, high cutting speed, high feed rate, excessive depth of cut, then small nose radius, and choice of wrong tool material. When softer tool material we are using for harder workpiece material, in that case also you will identify there will be a thermal softening of a tool, single point cutting tool. So we need to maintain these five parameters: high cut, proper cutting speed, feed, depth of cut, nose radius, and material. So temperature of a different tool materials are given in this table. First material, carbon tool steel, and its temperature ranges from 200 to 50 degrees Celsius. Then high speed steel HSS 560 to 600, then cemented carbide 800 to 1000 degrees Celsius. Okay, and because of the fluctuation in temperature, tool material is subjected to local expansion and contraction. This gives rise to setting up of a temperature stresses. I think what is the temperature stresses and thermal stresses induced into the component, it is studied in your second year, solid mechanics. Okay, so this phenomenon, what is temperature stresses and thermal stresses, already known to you. And due to this temperature stresses and thermal stresses, we will identify crack will starts crack propagation in your workpiece, crack propagation in your tool material we will identify, and that is called as a thermal cracking. Due to increasing temperature of a different region, we will identify crack propagation will start, and that is called as your thermal cracking process. So we need to maintain the temperature. For that also we are providing lubricant between your contacting region, means between your tool and workpiece we are providing coolant. This is your second process, thermal cracking process. Figure represents thermal cracking. It is a carbide tool, and this is the crack propagation on your carbide tip tool due to the temperature increase in various regions. Second one is the mechanical chipping. What is the mechanical chipping? Look at this figure. This is your single point cutting tool. This is the face, and this one is the clamp. And the material is removed from your tool. It is called as a chip chip tip. Mechanical chipping of a nose and or a cutting edge. Means mainly this mechanical chipping we will identify in which region, in the nose of a single point cutting tool or a cutting edge of a tool. A commonly observed cause of a failure means your tool tip and cutting edge. If it is a blunt, you can identify it is a mechanical chipping type of a failure of a tool. So what are the reasons of your mechanical chipping? Too high cutting pressure, then mechanical impact, Mechanical impact is another reason. Then excessive wear. Excessive wear. Fourth one, tool high vibrations. Tool high vibrations. If your tool post, because you are clamping your single point cutting tool on a tool post to perform the machining operation. If your tool post is not properly rigid, then you will observe that it has vibrations. Weak tip and cutting edge. If your tip and cutting edge is weak, then we can also identify this type of a failure of your single point cutting tool. And mechanical chipping most commonly observed in carbide tip tool and diamond tools because of its material is high brittleness, high brittle material. Hence, mechanical chipping mainly failure is observed in case of your carbide tip tool and diamond tools. And reasons to fail these two types of a material is these 4 to 5 reasons are provided over here. Okay. The next one is the third type of a failure of a tool, gradual wear. Gradual wear. According to the name, you can identify what is a gradual wear. After some time of a use, tool loses some weight or a mass. That is called as your gradual wear. But it is mainly classified into two types. First, caterwear. Caterwear, and second one is your flankwear. Caterwear is related to your face of the tool. Caterwear is related to the face of the tool. And how much distance is also mentioned in this figure, means failure of a tool over the face of the tool. So A region, B region, and D region. This is the failure of your tool in case of the caterwear. Caterwear occurs at the tool face at a small distance A. At a small distance A means this is the distance which represents your caterwear from its cutting edge. Occur in the ductile materials means ductile material already discussed in previous session. Steel alloy, these are the ductile materials. So in this material you can identify caterwear in which continuous chip is produced, because this chip is flowing along the face of the tool and there will be a friction. If we are not providing lubricant between your two contacting surface plus speed, feed, depth of cut, these parameters are not maintaining, then in that case also we are observed this caterwear along the face of a single point cutting tool, and it forms a cater or a depression at the tool chip interface. Tool chip interface. This region is called as your tool tool chip interface. Due to the pressure of this hot chip sliding up the face of a tool, metal form the tool face is supported to be transferred to the sliding chip by means of a diffusion process. As we discussed in types of a chip, it is a continuous chip with built-up edge. In that case also you will identify caterwear. Okay? So size is also mentioned, means type of a failure, it is a caterwear, and its size is also mentioned here in the form of a width D and depth D. Second figure, now look at the second figure. Now second figure represents here next type, flank type. The first caterwear is related to the face and second flank, and next one is flank wear. This portion is your flank portion of a tool, lower portion of a tool is your flank portion. So you can identify from this figure. Due to this caterwear also, we will observe that flank is failed to perform its function. Okay. So depth of cut and feed is also mentioned over here in this figure. So what is a flank wear? At the flank below the cutting edge, at the flank, this portion, at the flank below this cutting edge, you will identify wear of the tool. We will observe due to the abrasion between the tool flank and the workpiece, excessive heat is generated in this region, and we will identify flank wear. and most commonly observed in case of a brittle material. Then effect of this flying clear are workpiece loses its dimensional accuracy, energy consumption is increased, poor surface finish we will get. These are the reasons of the effect of the flying wear. Now next is the tool life. Every product has some life, so tool is also having some life. So we will define life of a tool according to Frederick Taylor. This is the scientist who invented first tool life. What is a tool life? So tool life represent the use of a life of a tool, means life of a tool. Use and how satisfactory performance of a tool is represented by using your tool life. Okay? Tool life represent the useful life of a tool expressed generally in time units from the start of a cut to some end point defined by failure criteria. Okay, so this is your tool life. It is a common method of a forecasting tool where is used Taylor's equation. So we are using Taylor's equation. This is the first scientist who invented this tool life. So it is called as a Taylor's equation. He invented one equation, and using this equation we can calculate tool life. So that equation is called as a Taylor's equation of a tool life, and this is invented in 1907. It, it represents optimum cutting speed, best productivity, and tool life represents optimum cutting speed for a best productivity. Taylor thought that there is an optimum cutting speed for a best productivity. This is the reason from the fact that low cutting speed tool have a higher life. Means it will represent if the value of a V, capital V, cutting speed denoted by capital V. If the cutting speed is low, then the tool life is high. Tool life is denoted by capital T. If this V is high, then your tool life T is less. If this V is low, V means cutting speed is low, then tool life is high. If it is inversely proportional, cutting speed is inversely proportional to your tool life. This inspired him to check up the relationship of a tool life and cutting speed. Based on the experimental work, propose the formula for tool life. So basic definition of your tool life is the time interval for which tool works satisfactorily between two successive grinding. Okay. Firstly, tool life, sorry, tool life means what? How satisfactory performance of your tool it is represented by tool life. Means it will give you satisfactory performance between two successive grindings or a sharpening. Another definition is also mentioned over here, or a three common ways of expressing tool life. How to express this tool life in three different ways. Time period in a minute between two successive grinding. अगर हम लोगों ने एक टूल फर्स्ट टाइम ग्राइंड किया है और उसके बाद नंबर ऑफ ऑपरेशंस परफॉर्म करे, देन टूल cutting edge blunt हो गई है, then we need to regrind the tool again. That is the two successive grinding. First grinding and then after blunt, we will regrind the tool, which will represent your two successive grinding. Between these two successive grinding, how much amount of productivity is given by that tool is also represented by tool life. In second way, in terms of a number of components machined during these two successive grinding, how many components are machined? is also represented by tool life. Components machine is denoted by C1 between two successive grinding. This method is commonly used when the tool operates continuously as in case of an automatic machine. And this is the equation which is used for identifying tool life MF raised to A, C1 raised to D is equal to C. Third term, in terms of a volume of a material removed between two successive grinding, between two successive sharpening of a tool, how much volume of a material is removed is also represented by tool life between two successive grinding. Okay? These are the three different modes which represents your tool life. Then volume of a material removed per unit time is a practical one and can be easily applied as a there is a formula volume per unit time velocity into the area. This is the basic formula, and please write down the formula because we have to solve the numerical in next slides. Volume of a metal removed per minute is equal to pi dn into df mm cube per minute. What is capital D? D is the diameter of the workpiece. This is the basic formula to calculate the volume of a metal per minute. N, capital N, number of revolutions of a work per minute RPM. Small d is the depth of cut and small f is the field rate in mm. If T be the time in minutes to tool life, then total volume of a metal removed to the tool life is equal to pi dn dft into capital T mm cube. If tool life it is in minutes. So we are using this formula. Please note down this formula. What are the factors affecting to the tool life? First factor cutting speed, second speed, third depth of cut, fourth tool geometry, fourth tool material, fifth one is the work material, sixth one nature of cutting tool, seventh rigidity of a machine tool and work, eighth use of a cutting fluid. First two parameters, it is in red color because these are the major first three parameters, cutting speed, feed and depth of cut. These are the major factors which are affecting to the tool life. So it is in red color. Effect of a cutting speed. How it is affecting to the cutting speed? Sorry, tool life. Maximum effect on the tool life is of a cutting speed. So we need to maintain this cutting speed. Tool life varies inversely proportional. As I told you in previous slide, if cutting speed increases, tool life decreases. Means it is inversely proportional to your tool life. That is, higher the cutting speed, smaller the tool life. This is the Taylor's empirical equation. Taylor's equation. This is called as the Taylor's equation. V T raised to m is equal to C. We are using this equation to solve the numerical. Most of the time they will ask you one numerical. There is a fixed one numerical on your tool life. So always remember this is a very simple numerical to find out. Simply you have to calculate either cutting speed, either tool life. Okay. So remember this formula V T raised to n is equal to C. C is the Taylor's constant. So capital V is cutting speed. What is T? T is the tool life, and N is the constant or it is a tool index. C is the constant numerically equal to the cutting speed that gives the tool life of a 1 minute, and M is the constant which depends on finish to finish tool and work material called tool life index. Okay, and its value is this. N is equal to an exponent whose value depend on tool called as a tool life index or a exponent, and it varies according to your tool material and cutting condition. Means n value varies according to your tool material and cutting condition. So what this two graph indicates cutting speed versus tool life, log V versus log T for a different material. From this first graph, you can also identify If you have higher cutting speed, then this curve or nature of a curve represent your tool life goes on decreasing. Okay. So C is a constant called as a machining constant, or it is also called as a Taylor's constant, which is numerically equal to the cutting speed in meter per minute. That would give you the tool life of a 1 minute. And second graph represent cutting speed versus tool life for a different material. Ceramic tool, carbide tool, HSS. This is not M, HSS, high speed steel tool, carbon steel tool. This graph represents if the cutting speed is high, then tool life is low, is decreasing. Please take a screenshot of this tool life C and N value for the tool life. For the different material, this table gives you the value of a C and N for a different material. Carbon steel, HSS, carbide and ceramic. Its value for C. First table gives you the value of a C, Taylor's tool constant. And second table for HSS N value. For exponent value N, HSS 0.08 to 0.2. Cemented carbide 0.2 to 0.6. Ceramics 0.5 to 0.8. I had already uploaded PDF related to your first unit on your Google Classroom of elective 1, Machining Science and Technology. From that notes also you will get this table for C and N value. Okay. So moving towards the next, if we have to calculate exponent value N, if it is not given and we have given two values V1, V2 and T1, T2, then it is also possible to calculate by this equation. By using interpolation, you can calculate N is equal to log V1 minus log V2 divided by log T2 minus log T1. And how to find out V into T raised to N is equal to C? We are taking log V plus log T raised to N is equal to log C. So next equation, log V plus N into log T is equal to log C. And if we have to calculate cutting speed value, then we will calculate, we are taking natural log to find out. You find out values of a cutting speed by using calculator. Always remember this thing, we have to take natural log to find out the value. Tool life equation does not take effective parameters such as the feed and depth of cut. So modified tool life equation is V e raised to m f raised to x d raised to y is equal to c. See, as we know, it is a Taylor's constant. Capital V is your cutting speed, T is your tool life, M is the tool index, or it is called as an exponent. And what is this F? F, small f is the feed, then D is the depth of cut. And for the steel X value, its range is in between 0.15 to 0.2 and Y value 0.2 to 0.4. So if we have to calculate value V cutting speed, then these two values are also given in your numerical. Use this formula to find out the value of a cutting speed. By increasing the feed and depth of cut, tool life will decrease because it's increased the cutting forces. So this is the standard equation, general relationship between your cutting speed, tool life, depth of cut, and feed. This is the standard equation. Remember this equation to solve the numericals. V is equal to 257 divided by T raised to 0.19, F raised to 0.36, D raised to 0.8. If the values of x and y. If it is not given, we have to take this value 0.19, 0.36, 0.8 to find out the value of a v.